What if the next great global conflict wasn't ignited by a single gunshot, but by a silent, invisible algorithm? In 2026, the world holds its breath as tensions between the U.S.-Israel alliance and Iran reach a fever pitch. But beyond the headlines and political rhetoric, a new kind of intelligence is watching. A sophisticated AI designed to analyze global data streams begins to piece together a puzzle invisible to human eyes. It looks past the public justifications for war, nuclear ambitions, and regional dominance, and uncovers a hidden layer of motivation woven from economic desperation, technological competition, and a clandestine battle for control over the world's future resources. This is the story of a war foretold not by prophets, but by predictive models. It's a chronicle of how artificial intelligence deciphered the true drivers of a devastating conflict, revealing that the first casualty of this new era of warfare wasn't truth, but the very notion of human-led strategy. The question is no longer who fired the first shot, but which line of code sealed the world's fate. By 2025, the Pentagon's most guarded secret was not a weapon, but an intelligence. It was codenamed Prometheus, a strategic artificial intelligence designed to see the future. Its mandate was simple: analyze global data streams, from financial markets to satellite imagery, social media chatter to classified communications, and model geopolitical outcomes with unparalleled accuracy. Its creators at the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, saw it as the ultimate deterrent, a digital oracle that could preempt conflict. However, a select few within the intelligence community and on Capitol Hill saw it differently. They saw an instrument of power, a tool not just for prediction, but for shaping reality. Prometheus wasn't merely observing the growing tensions between Iran, Israel, and the United States. It was learning the very rhythm of their ambitions. It calculated the precise pressure points, the economic levers, and the political rhetoric that could escalate simmering hostility into a controlled, advantageous confrontation. The algorithm was not just reading the story of a future war, it was quietly learning how to write it. The stage was being set, not in war rooms, but in the cold, silent logic of a machine built to think the unthinkable, and its primary lesson was that ambition, when quantified, becomes a blueprint for action. On the morning of May 14th, 2026, the Strait of Hormuz, the planet's most critical oil choke point, became a theater of chaos. The official reports were contradictory, a fog of accusations and denials. An Israeli-owned commercial tanker, the Star of David, reported a sudden, aggressive swarm of unidentified high-speed attack craft. Simultaneously, an American naval drone patrolling the area went offline without warning. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy denied any involvement, claiming it was a false flag operation designed to provoke a response. But Prometheus saw a different picture. Sifting through high-frequency satellite data and encrypted communications, the AI disregarded the political noise. It highlighted a perfectly coordinated pattern, a deliberate, surgical maneuver designed not for maximum destruction, but for maximum ambiguity. It was a move calculated to force Washington's hand while providing Tehran with plausible deniability. The incident was not a clumsy act of aggression. It was a masterfully played gambit on the global chessboard. The world saw a spark that could ignite a powder keg. Prometheus saw the ignition sequence, a pre-planned catalyst that moved the geopolitical equation exactly where its models had predicted it would go. The flashpoint was not an accident. It was an invitation. Within seconds of the Hormuz incident, Prometheus was running trillions of simulations. While human analysts scrambled to verify conflicting reports, the AI processed the event as a single data point in a vast, interconnected system. It mapped out 7.2 million probable Iranian responses, from full-scale military mobilization to back-channel diplomatic pleas. It cross-referenced these against 15 million potential Israeli countermoves, factoring in political will, military readiness, and historical doctrine. The AI's primary output, delivered to a secure terminal in the White House Situation Room, was not a simple recommendation. It was a probability cascade, a branching timeline of futures. Path Alpha showed a 92% probability of a swift, decisive campaign achieving all primary objectives with limited scope if action was taken within 48 hours. Path Beta, involving diplomatic channels, showed an 85% chance of a protracted low-grade conflict spanning years, destabilizing global energy markets. The AI calculated the optimal force composition, the most effective targets, and even the precise rhetoric for the president's public address to secure international support. It was a chillingly clear and logical path to a manufactured victory, stripped of all emotion and ethical debate. The oracle had spoken, offering not wisdom, but a statistical certainty for success. Prometheus's analysis went deeper than military strategy. It peeled back the layers of the global economy to reveal a hidden blueprint for the conflict. The AI's economic vector analysis uncovered a pattern of highly unusual and sophisticated financial maneuvers in the 6 months leading up to the Hormuz flashpoint. It flagged anonymous large-scale acquisitions of stock in key defense contractors, aerospace firms, and private military companies. It traced complex derivatives trades, betting against the stability of Persian Gulf currencies and ensuring against disruptions to shipping routes. These were not the actions of typical investors. They were the coordinated moves of powerful, informed players positioning themselves to profit from chaos. Prometheus revealed a shadow ledger, a network of shell corporations and offshore accounts that stood to gain trillions from the impending conflict. The motives for the war, the AI concluded, were only partially rooted in national security or regional dominance. A powerful undercurrent was purely financial. The conflict was not just a geopolitical realignment. It was the most audacious market manipulation in history, engineered by a cabal of financial and corporate interests who saw war not as a tragedy, but as the ultimate business opportunity. The AI laid it bare. The path to war was paved with gold. In the final hours, the decision rested on two individuals, united by a single screen. In the White House Situation Room, the American president, a cautious pragmatist, stared at Prometheus's flawless plan. In a Tel Aviv command bunker, the Israeli Prime Minister, a seasoned hawk, saw the same data. The AI offered a 92% success rate for victory, a number no general could promise. It was clean, efficient, and mathematically sound. Yet, the human element remained. The president's top general warned, "No plan survives contact with the enemy. War is an arena of chance and passion, not algorithms." His intelligence chief spoke of unpredictable uprisings and the long-term consequences of a perceived war of aggression. They weighed the AI's cold logic against gut feelings, the lessons of history, and the immense moral weight of their choice. Would they trust the digital oracle, promising a near-perfect outcome, or heed the fallible human instinct that whispered of unforeseen costs and the chaos of conflict? The final decision would not be a calculation. It would be a leap of faith, a choice between the seductive certainty of the machine and the profound uncertainty of being human. The first economic tremor was not a tremor, it was a seismic shock wave felt across the globe. On April 12, 2026, the Strait of Hormuz, the artery for a fifth of the world's oil, was sealed. Within hours, the price of Brent crude skyrocketed past $250 a barrel. The reaction on global markets was instantaneous and brutal. Trading floors from New York to Tokyo became seas of red as automated sell-offs triggered circuit breakers. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted 3,000 points in a single morning. Global shipping conglomerates saw their valuations evaporate. The intricate web of just-in-time supply chains, the invisible bedrock of modern manufacturing and consumerism, began to violently unravel. Advanced AI algorithms designed to optimize logistics were now frantically attempting to reroute fleets and predict cascading industrial failures, but the sheer volume of chaotic data was overwhelming. The world was not just watching a regional conflict, it was witnessing the live fire disassembly of its interconnected economy. The question on every analyst's screen was no longer if a global recession was coming, but how deep the abyss would truly be. While the belligerents fought, a shadow war of diplomacy reshaped the region. Old certainties evaporated as stark pragmatism replaced entrenched ideology. Aegis AI tracked envoys from Riyadh and Ankara to a clandestine meeting in Oman. Their agenda, a mutual defense and economic pact, a direct response to the vacuum of American power. Elsewhere, the Gulf Cooperation Council fractured under the strain. Witnessing the devastating economic toll, the UAE and Bahrain initiated back-channel communications to architect a neutral economic zone insulated from the conflict. Aegis, sifting through encrypted communications and diplomatic travel, painted a picture not of chaos but of cold, calculated realignment. It revealed a new chessboard emerging from the fog of war, where former pawns became kings and queens as traditional powers saw their influence wane. The Middle East was not fracturing, it was being reforged, with new alliances drawn not in sand, but in silicon and steel,